Right, so I'm just going to have a little play now with this middle ground wall. I'm just showing a background one, and the middle ground ones are pretty similar, just a tiny bit bigger. You can see over there it's already more or less done. In this area it's already, the wall's finished more or less. Just nice to put a few little bumps up into it. It's like little tiny stones on top. From the distance that'll give a better effect of a dry stone wall. Just some little knobbles on top. And that's going to be in shadow there because you can see light's coming from right to left. Therefore the shadow's on the left, light's on the right. You under there. Now you can see these walls right over here. And zoom in for you again, so you can see a little bit better. You can see how flat the top of that wall is, all the way along. So this one's just in shadow, so I can do it just in the dark colour. But I just want to give it some little bobbles and stuff, so it's not just a flat wall. How often do you get walls that are flat? Very rare. Only when they're built in cities. In the countryside like this, they're very random. I know youngsters like to use that word a lot nowadays, random. This is definitely random. Right. By the way, Tannen told me to tell everybody who commented on his painting, told me to say thank you very much. It's just made him really happy. Really good to see him. He'd been on YouTube and he'd seen the comments that people have been making and stuff, and it's really bolstered his confidence and stuff. So I'm really chuffed about that. I'll be doing more classes with him than that, but I'm not sure I'll do any on YouTube until I let him get a bit older. It was a bit of pressure for him just to do what he did, you know, for me to film that. So I'll wait till he gets a tiny bit older, maybe 13 or something like that, and then you'll be seeing him. I've got another nephew called CJ, and he's also a good painter. He did a cracking painting with me, did CJ, and that's why little Tannen were insisting that he wanted to do one, because he'd actually seen the one that CJ did first. But CJ now had one on YouTube, and he hadn't had the views, so I told him that I'd let him come on and do a demo with me one time. I'm sure he'd enjoy that. He's a good little painter, they're both really creative. So yes, glad that I can rub off on him in that way. See, that's starting to stand out more now, and that's all that we're after for this middle ground one. This is actually smaller, this dry stone wall, than this one in the background. That's quite a big wall. It's just the way it's worked out. I'm working from real life with this painting. It's a real place. I can't remember the name of it. I'll get it for you before I finish the actual picture. Anyway, you guys might even be able to tell me. It's on my website. I'm just putting some little indications. You see, sometimes it'll get hidden behind the grass and you'll just see the top of it, just the very tippy top of the wall. So as it goes away from you, I'm going to put a tiny bit of white with that black, with that brown, dark brown colour, and then I'm going to thin it down. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to use that over this end because it's not as dark as it goes away from you. It should be lighter in tone. Just needed a few little details up there, that's all. I know it's probably too small for you guys to see this, but I'll zoom in and I'll show you the effects of what I'm doing. And I'm sure I've told you how to do it and what I'm doing. So hopefully you'll have no problems doing it after this. Now we're going to put one in here for the foreground. Now this is the real speciality. This is where the fun begins. I love painting with palette knife. One guy actually asked me if I could do a full painting for him with the palette knife, and soon enough I've got a couple. I always get in requests and I try to fulfill them the best I can, but sometimes obviously I have to prioritise and do things that I believe they're going to be very productive. One woman's given me some lovely photographs of a volcano which I'm going to actually paint for her. It's her hometown and that, and this other guy is actually asked me to, what was it? See, I'm trying to remember, my memory's not the best. I'll remember anyway. I'm just going to get stuck in. Oh yeah, that's right, he wanted me to do a full painting with a palette knife. So that's doable, but I would say that I would use a palette knife as well as a blender brush. I can do a knife just painting just with the palette knife, no problem, but it has to be a particular scene, really just a rocky scene with a depth. To do a sky, you really do need to